Alright, guys, with the increasing complexity of Canadian immigration and with express entry going the difficult rounds of increasing cutoff scores, what is that one thing that can get you the Canadian PR dream come very true and come so near? People do keep on asking me this question quite and often again that okay, Sahil, if express entry is not happening, if we are not getting a Canadian PR directly, then what is that one single thing that we should aim for or look forward to if we need to work towards the Canadian PR dream? If that is again your question, then please be tuned till the end. My name is Sahil. Alright, guys, welcome back once again. My name is Sahil and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and I practice in Ontario. My office is here. If you have to get in touch with me, my number is on the screen and the details are there in the description box. More than happy to connect with you. Before we proceed any further, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon because we talk a lot about Canadian immigration. And if you are an aspirant of coming to Canada, then this is a channel that you must be subscribed to all the time. So, guys, I quite often get asked this same question again and again that okay, Sahil, express entry scores, the CRS cutoffs are going way higher. Even if you look at the coming years of 2023 and so forward, the paradigm is changing a lot. So if express entry is not happening and if we are somewhere in the age of 32, 35, 40, 45 or whatsoever, what is that one thing we could do if we want to make this dream of Canadian PR come true? So I've been engaged in this, in this industry for quite a long time, and I've been speaking to a lot of people, and I've done my own bit of research, and I can very confidently say that if you look at the recent announcements of the immigration authorities, the immigration minister himself quite often comes out and announces these public policies, and whenever he's talking about those policies, he does talk about the peripheral discussions and everything. And then if you look at the upcoming changes, the bills, all of these discussions that keep on happening all the time, there is this one single phenomena that you tend to notice, which I personally think is Canadian experience. Okay, and I'm not specifically talking about Canadian experience class per se, but I'm saying Canadian experience overall. Now, to get Canadian experience, you obviously have to work in Canada. To work in Canada, there could be multiple different approaches. For example, a person could be working in Canada on an open work permit. A person could study in Canada, then get an open work permit. A person could accompany his or her own spouse to get an open work permit. You could come to Canada for a closed work permit, an LMIA based work permit, LMIA exempt work permit, PNP based work permit, a PNP attached open work permit, an open work permit attached to your pilot program, a bridging open work permit, and all such work permits do exist. Now, the whole crux of the situation is that ultimately, if you get that work permit, be it open or closed, you then get something known as Canadian experience. So, if you work for a Canadian based employer on Canadian soil, you are qualified for Canadian experience. Once you complete that Canadian experience, you then start getting qualified under multiple programs. Now, let's just look at what kind of programs and what kind of directions that we can see. First, Bill C-19, you already know that the next year, which is 2023, Canadian immigration paradigm is changing completely. The most important express entry will undergo a lot of changes. They are now looking forward to introducing NOC based draws. They're also looking to affect these draws based on maybe location of the client, location of the applicant, education, IELTS, whatever, right? So it's totally going in their hands. But if you look at those announcements so far, they definitely have in mind that they will be affecting those draws by Canadian experience and non-Canadian experience, right? If you talk about the other programs, say for example the PNP programs, or if you talk about the pilot programs, most of these programs, including pilots and the PNP programs, are based on job offers. Again, they could be as short as you get a job offer and get qualified for a PNP, or you could work for 1 year in a particular province and then get qualified for a PNP. But ultimate crux is again Canadian experience, right? The international education program in Canada, you talk about that again. You study in Canada, get an open work permit, and then based on the Canadian experience, you either would want to go under a Canadian experience class open the express entry, or you might want to undergo the PNP route of multiple provinces, right? Even if you look at the past programs, the TR to PR pathway again had very specific requirement attached to Canadian experience, probably job offers or such. And then if you look at all the other conversations that keep on happening around the public policies, if you remember during COVID as well, and now today, in fact after COVID, PGWP extensions are given so that people can get more experience. The past conversation that happened with the immigration minister when Bill C-19 and Motion 44 was talked about, they said that they want to develop a program which could target people who have been contributing to the economy, either undocumented or the other ones, people who have been contributing to the economy through essential work or the other Canadian experience in agriculture, health, or anything. They would definitely be looking for a program for those kind of people, right? So overall, I think the crux of the situation is, if express entry is not happening for you, if you don't think at your age you don't have a direct program, then you should start looking forward towards job offers and ways, means, and methods of getting a work permit in Canada. And then once you land in Canada, you should work for at least a year. More if your age is not appropriate for the right PNP, then work for more and then get aligned to a particular PNP or a pilot program, depending upon which province you are heading to. Once you have that sorted, I think Canadian PR will be closer than ever for you, right? But then, of course, every profile is different. Everybody's profile is, everybody's background is built differently. So we would have to look at your profiles before I can definitely comment. But overall, this should be suitable to most of the people. Guys, I hope the video today was helpful, gave you much insights into what exactly the future of Canadian immigration is going to look like, where at least that is more evident from the announcements and the discussions that happen around multiple forums with regard to Canadian immigration. If you have anything else to discuss, please feel free to schedule a consultation with me and I would be more than happy to discuss your case. Once again, I wish you all the best and I really hope to see you soon in Canada. All the best.